Hello, class. If you are a psychology student or you know anything about psychology, definitely you will know the learning theories which are quite prominent when understanding the association how an individual experiences or how individual actually learn the progress or how the individual will definitely know the nuances of modifying the behavior. Now, coming to the learning theories, today in my class, we are going to discuss few examples on how exactly the learning theories will be applicable in our daily life. For that case, I would take the example of classical conditioning theory given by Ivan Pavlov, one of the best appreciated and popularized theory on learning. Learning is nothing but the modification in any relatively modification in any behavior. Now, coming to the connection, what Pavlov spoke about, the UCS with that of UCR leads to CS and CR connection. So here, when you talk about the application value, if a student associates negative emotional experiences with school, then definitely they will have bad results. These are some of the examples what I want my audience to know about how exactly the association, especially in the childhood stage, gets strengthened with related to the unconditioned stimulus, intentionally or unintentionally getting converted to conditioned stimulus. So if your child anywhere, if you see a child getting scared or having this constant fear of going to school, then there is some sort of reason. It could be anything, whether the child is being bullied at school or he or she is experiencing a very vast negative emotional experiences. So this creates a lot of association that leads to hate to such an extent those kid start hating the school. So that gets very affected through his performance with regard to the academics as well as extracurricular activities. Now coming to the operant conditioning given by Ivan Pavlov. So whatever B.F. Skinner talks about here, I have given an example here. Timmy is supposed to clean his room every Saturday morning. Last weekend, he went out to play with his friend without cleaning his room. As a result, his mother made him to spend rest of the weekend doing other chores like cleaning out the garage, mowing the lawn, and weeding the. What is this theory talking about? Here, very clearly, Timmy is being exposed to the negative reinforcement, which is nothing but if you don't do your work on time, you will not be either rewarded or positively or negatively. Definitely, it's gonna harm you. Suppose if my child, I have been telling my child to do household work for this particular weekend, and the child doesn't even respond, doesn't even care about whatever he or she is doing. So definitely there has to be one modification that has to take place in order to either remove or in order to relieve that unwanted outcome. So this example very much talks about the negative reinforcement in action. It could be in form of a punishment as well, but from my experience, I would be suggesting for a kid, better punishment can be avoided and it can be substituted with negative reinforcement. It could be like, if you get me good results, I will get you a chocolate, or I will get you a bicycle for this exam. So that is a very good positive reinforcement. Similarly, if the child doesn't perform well and he or she is not able to cope up with the academics, definitely punishment would be taking away his things, taking away the freedom or other related stuff. But instead, it can be substituted with the consequence of a behavior where it has to uh, think of like cleaning the garage, which a child may not like it, but instead has to do it. So similarly, the same examples, like a teenage girl has a driver's license, but it does not allow her to drive at night. However, she drives at night several times a week without facing any consequences. One evening, when she is driving to a mall with a friend, she is pulled over and issued a ticket. So this also needs to be taken care of when you talk about reinforcement. After performing in a community play, you receive applause from an audience. So this way, and it is not only with regard to the animals which are used in the studies, whatever you talk about the trial and error learning, uh, all of us know when you say, or when you practice something, when you say that practice makes man perfect, what do you mean? So as you go try, as you learn things, definitely it makes you your performance well, and definitely it reduces, or your accuracy is very much taken care of. And when you talk about social imitation theory or social learning theory, for example, especially with regard to the kids, social learning theory talks about all the behavior or the modeling or the imitation what a child does, looking at the immediate family members, especially with regard to the mother and the father. So it is nothing but the social context is emphasized. No, how exactly observational learning occurs here? It could be retention, it could be reproduction, it could be motivation, or eventually the child will not be able to relate to it. A child will learn to smoke cigarettes by watching adults. For adults, it's not a big deal to smoke a cigarette. Whereas when you talk about doing those actions, particularly in front of your kids, so please make sure, or have somewhere in your mind that this is going to affect the child a lot. Because for children, whatever you do at a certain age of their time is the ultimate. And we shouldn't wonder if they come out with the back answers and say that, dad or mom, you did it, that's why I'm also seeing no harm uh, in just copying you. Thank you.